In this video, I'm going to show you a basic way on how to improve your left hand in about 10 minutes or less. And if you watch until the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a surprise video that most of my students absolutely love in order for you to continue your experience. So for the left hand, a lot of people tend to have issues with getting the left hand up to par with the right hand because most of us are right-handed and most of us really haven't, especially as beginners, haven't really worked with the left hand as far as baseline chords. We tend to have only used like the right hand for melodies, but it is just as important for the left hand to be as technically up to par with the right hand. So as a complete beginner, I'm going to show you 2 easy exercises to get your left hand at least going where you can get used to playing the left hand. So again, if you're a complete beginner, we're going to work with just the white keys today. C is the white key to the left of the 2 black keys. And then after that, it's D like the alphabet. And then E. And then F. And then G. And then after G, it's A, just like, like resetting the alphabet. After A, it's B. And then after B, it's C. And then the sequence starts over again. So D, E, F, G. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so on and so forth. Going this way, the tone goes higher. Going to the left, the tone goes lower. And that's pretty much how simple the piano is in terms of the notes. Again, I may go over the black keys some other time, but for the most part, my videos on YouTube are for complete beginners. So what we're going to do is we're going to use all 5 fingers for the left hand, and we're going to do some moving around with the left hand. That way you can kind of get both aspects of playing that you can practice, on a regular basis. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a simple exercise, the first one anyway. We're going to start with our pinky, which is in piano, the fingers have numbers. So thumb is number 1, index is number 2, middle finger is 3, ring finger is 4, and pinky is number 5. So if you hear me referring to the fingers as finger numbers, that's what I'm referring to. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our 5th finger, which is our pinky, and we're going to start it on C. So what we're doing is we're going to practice building some level of finger independence between the fingers, and again, you can do this, whenever it's convenient for you. So we'll start with pinky on C. And then the next thing you're going to do is just play your 4th finger, your ring finger, and we're going to use it to play D. The next finger we're going to play is our middle finger. We're going to use that to play E. The 2 finger, which is my index finger, is going to play F. And then my thumb is going to play G. And all we're going to do is just go right back down. So after you play G one time, you're going to go back to your 2 finger to play F. And we're going very slowly with this. And then we're going to use our 3rd finger for E. Our 4th finger goes to D. And then our ring finger is going to go to C. And then once you hit C, you're going to go back up and do the same exact thing. So after you hit C one time, you're going to use your 4th finger for D. And you'll just go E, F, G, and you're basically just going into a loop. So what that's going to look like by the time you're done is going to be this. And you go nice and slow. Because this isn't about speed at the end of the day. This is about building technique with the left hand. As you're playing this, you need to keep a few things in mind. Number 1, you want to make sure that your elbows and your palm is slightly elevated above the piano, where the only thing touching the piano are your fingertips, like this. So this part here is a little bit elevated by like maybe a couple of inches above the piano. That way you're not like, playing like this, which is really difficult. Make sure that you're nice and level. The other thing is you want to make sure that your fingers are nice and curved and relaxed as you're playing. because if you're gripping as you're playing, it's going to make it very difficult to practice this exercise for an extended period of time. So make sure that each of your fingers are nice and relaxed as you're playing. A good way to check if your fingers are relaxed and if your wrist is relaxed is as you play each note, you can move your wrist up, down, as an exercise, right? So I can just go like this. Sorry. So I can kind of do that just to make sure that my fingers are relaxed. Once I know that they're relaxed, then I can just move to regular playing. One more thing that you need to keep in mind for this exercise, and also for the next thing I'm going to show you, is to make sure that, well, two things. Making sure that your fingers are remaining rested on the piano keys, even if they're not playing. Because what some people will do is this. Where like their fingers start flying all over the place. Make sure that when you're playing each note that the other fingers are not going anywhere. And one more thing, I know I'm giving you a whole lot of things to think about. This is the reason why this should be a practice regimen, and this is the other reason why I gave you something super easy to work on. The other thing is that you don't want to mush the notes together. As you're playing the next note, make sure that you let go of the previous note to give it a nice clean sound. Because what you don't want is this. You don't want that. You want to make sure that you're playing only one note at a time. So this is one of the good ways to practice the left hand, at least kind of get started. Before I give you the next exercise that you can work on, I want to bring to your attention that I do have a free 3-step piano beginner video for those who want to learn piano, and if they are complete beginners, I have a 3-step video that's in the description box. There's a link for it where I go over all the basics of piano theory and chords. It teaches you about the chords and all that, all those basics that you would need to know in order to get your foot in the door as a piano learner. So the link for that video is in the description box. You just click to sign up. So the other thing that I want to show you is to play an actual scale. And the reason I'm showing you this scale is because it will get your left hand accustomed to moving from one part of the piano to another by way of passing fingers above and below each other. So we're going to do a C scale, a C major scale, going up and going back. So it's going to be very similar. The way you start going up is going to be pretty much the same as what I just showed you, and going in upward fashion, where you start with your pinky on C, your fourth finger for D, third finger for E, 2 finger for F, 1 finger for G. But instead of going back down right away, what you're going to do is you're going to lift your hand a little bit, but you're going to take your third finger, bring it over your thumb, and you're going to play the next note, which is A. See what I did there? So I did 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Took my middle finger, my third finger, brought it over my thumb to play the very next key, which is A. And then I repositioned my entire hand because that allows me to use my 2 finger for B, and then my 1 finger can go to C. So using all the practices that I mentioned in the first exercise, keeping your fingers relaxed, keeping them curved, playing one note at a time, playing them cleanly, you can use that to practice your scale, which is what I just showed you, which is like this. Going back down is going to be the reverse, so this may take a little bit of time to think. So you would start with your thumb on C, so going this way now. Your 2 fingers going to play B, Your third finger is going to play A. And then after your third finger plays A, you're not going to use your fourth and fifth finger just yet. What you're going to do is you're going to take your thumb, bring it under your third finger, and use it to play G, which is the next key down. And then from there, you will reposition your entire hand. So you go 1, 2, 3. The thumb is going to come under the A, under the third finger, and play G. You will reposition your entire hand and you're back to the same original position you were in, and you would just use 2 finger for F, third finger for E, fourth finger for D, fifth finger for C. So going back down is like so. And just for making it this far in the video, my surprise is an extra video that I have where it shows you how to master coordination between both hands. So I'm going to attach that video somewhere in my screen. And if this video was helpful, please like, comment, and share. And of course, subscribe. Turn on the notifications bar to get notified for my next video, which will be in the next few days. So with that said, I'm also going to attach a playlist here which will give you some practice tips for other aspects of learning piano for beginners. So with that said, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.